what's it called?
Greater Israel on their arms, yeah.
Uniforms on their
Yes, it's
uniforms. Is it
true.
true that they have
Yeah,
Greater Israel
Some of
map?
them have it,
yeah,
yeah.
they do
So,
have it.
Is it
since you
true?
guys are here, I want to ask you guys this question, right? I actually explored this idea with Nathan earlier, and I have asked Brother Jindip as well. You know, they were offering $5 million for each hostage, right? What if they were to offer 5 million to the Gazans, or because they want to take over the land anyways, right? You think it would actually work out? The $5 million
No.
plus the green card to
They would
America.
never pay.
No.
Amir. They
People
would.
act like Hamas aren't just Palestinians fighting for their own country. They'd
Amir.
say the
They.
same with
They
fucking Hezbollah. They're like, oh, Hezbollah are Iran, as if they aren't just our people in the south defending our country. That's why I don't like Igal. He just speaks about this shit when he's from Poland. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
But
I
no, I'm
hate
not
him.
talking about. I'm not talking about Eagle. I'm just saying in general. I'm asking
The
you
Palestinians will
guys.
not betray their own people for 5 million shekels.
5 million. You even believe they're gonna
I mean,
pay?
this is something the Jews would do. No, but we don't
But
do
the
Yeah,
that.
I mean that's an
Palestinians are
idea that
not the
should be offered to
Jews.
every
Thank
Israeli to
God.
move. That's a better solution, Amir. If they offer the Israelis, a vast sum of money financed by your
Oh shit!
government, the
It's
U.S.
it's
government, they'll take
Blackstem.
it.
Blackstem,
That'd
come
be
on stage, you
much
massage
more
button.
ideal solution.
Yeah, I got a great negotiation plan. How about you pack your fucking baggage and whatever bullshit you have more and move to Eastern Europe?
No, go to
That way we
America.
allow you.
Establish the
That way
great
we will
state in
allow y'all
America.
to live that are still alive.
No, but it's. I mean, the whole Holy Land is becoming a la 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 land. Don't you see a lot of illegal settlers and a lot of weird people coming to that land all around the world just because they converted to Judaism or they are allegedly Jews?
What's ironic about it? You know what's ironic that I just found out? They don't even allow DNA tests in Israel because
Yeah, they don't.
No, they
they
do.
know
They do actually. I looked
With
it
a
up. They
court
do.
order, they do.
They
They
do.
When
do.
no,
They
again,
do.
Hampton, it's regulated and it's for medical conditions.
If
And
you
if you
go
want
to
to test
No,
for
they
something,
do.
You
They
have
do
to be. You
allow
yeah,
have
it.
to
but
get
you
a
need to go
license.
through the government,
No,
Hampton.
but if you go to
No,
23andme.com, they
he's
search
gonna he's
All
gonna
right, yeah,
find out his
100.
23andMe.
boyfriend is
23
white
and me,
from
23 and
Poland.
me says I'm 15% white. I'm brown as fuck.
You might be, but you don't know
Uh,
what
No, no,
No,
but
I'm
Palestine.
definitely
rude
not white.
man,
Take that
rude
back.
man,
Take
Lebanese
that
people
back.
are
rude
pretty.
man. Oh, hold
Hmm?
on, rude man. According to the reports, and if you look at the Times of Israel, a whole bunch of you could do it with the court order, like actual
You're cutting out, Amir.
Mossad got
like
him.
that will show you that you're from that land. Can you guys
You
hear me?
cut out.
But
Can you say that
now I
Yeah.
again, Amir?
can.
You cut out.
I said you could get the test done, but it needs to be done by court order, and doctor needs to analyze your condition. Then the doctor gives approval, and then it goes to the court. Court decides whether you're gonna get.
And the
Well,
Mossad is on
Ryan,
you
they're
no,
again,
but
Amir.
saying that they do
well,
allow it.
is it
So
like we're talking about 23andMe or Ancestry.com? Are they allowed to take these tests or no?
yes.
Amir,
Genetic
you're in the
genetic
Matrix.
Most of them don't
genetic
even offer them
testing.
tests in Israel, anyways.
Amir, you're in the Matrix, buddy.
By the way, if you look at the Palestinian DNA, if you just go Google Palestinian DNA and look at the pictures, you will see like 80% Levant, the rest is Egyptian or Anatolian. But you see, like 80% and above is Levant. That just means and tells you something, doesn't it? That it tells you that we are the indigenous people. So this is so weird that they are always claiming that land when I've never seen one single DNA test or result from a Jew. Like I've never seen that. Never.
Not to forget to mention, if you look at the cancer rates over there,
Don't
the
bring that
on,
up.
That's
That's
false. The
anti-Semitic.
biggest ones are
only
That's
Australia.
can the
anti-Semitic.
faggot mute up
It's
while I'm speaking?
Australia has the
Can the
highest
faggot mute
cancer
up while I'm
rates. I'm
speaking?
just saying,
Of
don't
course we
say
do.
shit that's not
Can the faggot mute
true.
up?
Oh
Mute up,
God.
faggot. Stop moaning. It's nasty. Nobody wants to hear it.
Oh, oh.
Mute up, faggot.
Kick this faggot off the stage.
Why is
He
he always
requesting
interrupting people,
perverted
man?
people life. This is the typical Israeli cucker, okay? These people are just perverted ass people
Can you calm down,
by
bro? You're
nature.
acting emotional like a
Can,
female.
can you mute up?
Yeah, seriously. You perverted ass
You're acting like a
faggot.
woman. You're acting like a woman right now.
Let's
He
not
called
let's
you a
not
Who
do
woman.
personal
who agrees
Ooh.
attacks,
this?
guys. Let's not do personal attacks. Let's keep it respectful, man. Keep it civilized.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
real.
but he's interrupting
You're
every fucking
soft.
It's
time.
not. He's just adding more stuff to it.
No,
He's
bro,
add-
he's
he's
interrupting
he's
every time people
questioning
speak.
whatever you're saying. He just quite. It's okay. Rootman, can you please
He's
try
defending
to
all
limit?
he's defending all these penises of Israel.
Yes,
Fucking
got
nasty
it.
person. The numbers in Israel are actually factual when it comes down to cancer. It's because white people, I don't want to sound like a racist piece of shit because I'm not, but white people can't handle the sun that much. It's funny if you look at the Palestinians that live like on the other side of the wall, why don't they have cancer?
I
But it's
mean,
all,
by
it's,
looks, the thing is with Ludwig, we have also white Palestinians. I mean, my grandmother, if you saw her, she has like super blue eyes and blonde hair, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, and like rosy
but was
red
she white
cheeks.
ethnically?
No, 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 she was not. She's Palestinian.
There
But
you go. It's in the
but yeah, yeah,
genetics of the white Europeans.
yeah, I know. She's not European, but what I'm saying is that we have white Palestinians and Lebanese people, but that doesn't mean that they're not indigenous. The thing is with the Jews from the Ashkenazi Jews or whatever, I don't believe that all the Ashkenazis were ethnic. That's not an ethnicity, but they believe they're Israelites, right? I don't believe that they're descended from, Abraham or like Jacob or whatever. I believe a lot of them converted to Judaism, just like the Khazars and the rest people, you know?
It from them. Okay, they're not even from Musa alayhi salam. All right, if we look at the description of Musa alayhi salam, he was a brown skinned man. These fools are not brown skinned. Okay, they get sunburned. All
No,
right,
but we have
They're
Mizrahi
white
Jews and
Hebrew
Sephardic Jews
Israelites.
as well. Actually, I've seen some Ashkenazis that are dark, to be honest, to be fair. But the thing is, like, if you
dark
look at the history of the Jews when they were taken by slaves by Romans to Europe, listen, the thing is, you cannot trace back to be an Israelite. You don't even know who's an Israelite anymore because when Abraham came to the land of Canaan, the Israelites and the Canaanites mixed with each other, but we don't know who is the real Israelite today. There it could be Palestinians, it could be Assyrians, it could be anyone from that region, but these people can convert to Judaism. That's why I gave you an example. So if we take a Russian or a Bosnian, for example, who is a Slavic person who converts to Judaism, how the fuck does he belong to one of the 12 tribes? It doesn't make sense at all. You're not an Israelite. You cannot convert and claim to be an Israelite. You cannot do that. It doesn't work like this. DNA doesn't work like this. So now we don't even know who is the true Israelite who are descended from Abraham or Jacob. We don't know. Could be the Assyrians, actually. So we don't even know.
Okay, I'm gonna just say one thing. I met a Oghuz Turkmen. Okay, not a Turkish person. F them, they're cooked. But I met a Oghuz Turkmen from Turkmenistan. He showed me his family tree.
August Turk?
Yeah, a Oghuz Turk from
Mm.
Turkmenistan. He was able to trace his family tree back to the son of Noah. His family kept that genealogy, so I'm pretty sure, like, if someone was really like serious, especially if they're quote unquote the chosen people, as they say, that they're the chosen people and the rest are just goys, that they would keep their nasab. They would keep that since they're the chosen people.
But
But
this is what doesn't add up because they believe it's an ethno religion, right? They believe it's an ethnicity
yes,
because
that's what I'm saying.
what they believe is that there were 12 tribes before, there were Israelites, but the thing is, okay, there were Israelites, when they came to the land of Canaan, but we don't even know anymore because anyone can convert to Judaism. We have Black Rabbi, for example, who converted to Judaism. uh, Imagine like few generations, is he going to claim to be one of the from the 12 tribes, or that he's an
Hold
Israelite, that he
on, just
descended
a
from
minute.
Abraham?
John Juan, eat a dick, puppy
Yeah,
dog.
fuck you, John. You got my other
Yeah,
account
fuck
banned, you
you,
fucking
bitch.
faggot. Fuck you.
Yeah, you faggot.
No,
You
why
and
are you
Yael.
attacking him?
Yeah, because he's
Y'all
always
are
talking.
Amir literally asked you
No,
guys
no,
to
he's
stop
always talking
attacking
shit.
people.
Faggot, faggot,
You know,
faggot.
he's always talking
No, but
shit
hold on,
about
hold on. Let's
Israel.
not
No,
do
no.
the
Can you guys stop that, bro? Stop bringing shit from the.
But Black Rabbi already claimed
guys.
he's
Let's
doing
not
Islam.
attack homosexuals and stuff too. This is
No,
not
no, but
about.
Black Rabbi is already claiming he's indigenous, by the way.
No, I
Is
know,
that
but I'm just saying what I'm trying to explain to you is that they're always using anti-Semitic, the whole anti-Semitism, that, oh, if you say something against them, you're anti-Semitic, right? So you're telling me someone who converts that is not even Semitic is gonna use that term on me, who is a fucking Semite myself? Like, do you understand how
Absolutely,
retarded it is?
they're gonna do it regardless.
Yeah, I know that, but a definition can also be changed, um so that's the funny thing. They're using the anti-Semitism to anyone who just talk anything against them. So anyone in this room can convert to Judaism, and if someone says something to you, they become anti-Semitic. How the fuck are
okay?
you
Well,
Semitic?
that's what I'm saying. There was literally a black guy who converted to Judaism, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't do the anti-Semitic talk, bro. You're not a damn Semite. You're Tyrone from Harlem, okay? Who just found
The
who?
Tyrone from Harlem part is really good.
Yeah,
You're
like you found
Ariel
a
from
lick.
Detroit.
Yeah, you just found a lick and decided, oh, I'm gonna run with it. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's scam artist, whatever his name is, the Black Rabbi. He's just a scam character.
I love him. He's my favorite. He's so funny.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
no,
just
he
like
admits that he's scamming people, by the way.
He's trying to go on Piers Morgan, but they want him to speak about Israel Palestine, and he doesn't know anything, so he's refusing.
So
Okay,
Rudeman, when you say that's their land, what do you mean exactly, Rudeman? Can you explain to me, like try to explain to me how it's their land?
When I say you guys both, I said you guys both have a claim to the land. My whole thing is the fact of the matter is, regardless of how Israel got there, it's here.
Regardless
And
of how they got
it's
there,
here. It's here. And I just feel like you
regardless
guys
how people
keep.
got there, are you literally saying
Ludwig,
that?
can you just calm?
When
Just
you
shh.
say how they
Annoying,
got
isn't it?
there,
When you
are you
get
talking about
interrupted.
1948 or are you talking about when Abraham came to that land? Which
No, I'm
one?
talking about 1948. And
You
even
literally
before
said
then, there was
regardless how
always
they got
Jews.
there.
Shh. Be quiet. Shh. Be
Shh.
quiet.
Talking about 1948, but also that
Yes.
according to their own Torah, according to Genesis, was it 12:7? Abraham came to the land of Canaan, that we say in Arabic, which is actually the modern Lebanese and Palestinians. So, what time are you talking about? That time, or are you talking about 1948?
Listen, I don't even believe Abraham existed. I think most of
Okay.
I'm
There
just
you
keeping it a
go.
Oh, you're
buck
being
with you.
anti-Semitic now because the whole
No, I don't think Moses
the whole
didn't
Jewish
exist.
supremacy is built off that
Jesus
the
didn't.
God
Let me
promised
stop.
him
Let
that
me stop
land.
talking. Let me stop talking. Let me stop talking.
You're an
But let me just
atheist. How are you
say,
gonna
I'm
believe
an
in anything that comes
atheist.
from the
I'm an
books?
atheist, and I'll say this: the Bible is not a history book.
Okay, so
Okay.
let's not take the Bible then as a history book. Let's talk about the Canaanites then. The modern Canaanites are the Lebanese and the Palestinians. So this just shows you that they have been there since Bronze Age, before the Israelites even set their foot in that region. So explain that to me.
I'm not really, familiar with all
Mm.
that stuff you just
But
said.
it's easy for you to sit here and defend people who are not even indigenous, right? Because you do
I'm
realize that the
actually
Israelites
trying to
came from
defend.
Mesopotamia, right?
I'm trying to help y'all. That's what I'm
لك
trying
روح
to
العب
help.
بحالك يا مانياك.
What I'm
ما
trying to
تقعد هون
say
تحكي
is
تحت الماء.
basically like, you know how you kick a wall and it's not the wall, or a brick wall, and the brick wall's not going anywhere,
Retard alert.
but you're just hurting your
Retard
foot.
alert.
If you keep like kicking a brick wall, at a certain point your foot's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse,
Are
and
you
that's
saying
the
Israel is in like a
Palestinian.
Are you
triangle?
describing Israel like it's getting worse and worse and
no,
No,
worse?
no,
I'm talking about the
that
It's crumbling
Palestinians
down.
Palestinians.
worse and worse.
The brick wall is
Look, طبونة
Israel.
دي
You
مقلة.
know
The
what the
إيه
funny
person
thing
that's
is,
يما.
Rude Man?
Right.
Even the
kicking
So,
Lebanese
is
so
Palestine.
People have more claim to Israel than the Israelis themselves. Even the Lebanese people who are Lebanese people, because they are Canaanites as well. This is the funny thing. The whole region was called Canaan. The
I
whole
think you
region
guys,
until
but I think
we
you
until
should have your
today
own
we have
state.
families
Absolutely.
with the surname Canaan. By the way, the house that
Yes.
Netanyahu is living in, one of his houses that he stole was actually from a doctor called what was his name? The doctor, the Palestinian doctor, but his last name ended with his surname ended with Canaan as well. This just shows you how much we are indigenous. Our surnames, our folklore dance, our Tetris tradition dresses comes from the Canaanites, by the way.
Most
Okay,
of the
so Ryanair, if you're the
Mm.
president of the world, what do you want to happen? If you could snap your fingers and make the shit change in your way, what would you
Yo,
do?
let's not make this the
Oh my
Hampton show or
God.
something
no
because
no
all the
No,
attention is
I'm
gonna go
making
to
it the
him for the next
Ryanair
hour.
show. I asked her a question. I'm
We
making it
haven't
the
heard
Ryanair
Zakna
show.
speak.
I
Broodman, I
asked
understand that you
Ryanair a
have your YouTube
question.
channels and you talk about reality shows there and shit.
no
I'm not
no
here to
no
entertain
I
you.
just asked you a
no
question.
Just
I
ignore
asked
this
you
cockblower,
if you
man.
were the
he's
queen of the
talking.
world, how
He,
would you
Can we
feel?
go to the
What is
next
your
person?
dream?
Zakna has not
I
spoken at
asked you
all.
a
Let's hear
question,
from
but it's
Zakna.
okay. I don't understand why you won't answer the question, darling, but it's all
Because
right.
nobody wants to
no,
like
this
Because
is
you're
even
so
like
interact with you.
irrelevant.
about
You're so
Israel being.
You're
embarrassing.
irrelevant
I
at this
He's
don't
point.
know
talking
why
about
it's so hard to answer the
no.
question.
He's
What do you
talking
want?
about
What is your
Israel
dream
being a.
situation? What do you want to happen to Israel? I just want to
Nobody
know.
cares
Or
about
the
your questions,
Levant.
man.
I
Nobody
think
I
I'll
just want
keep
cares.
to
it
know.
deep inside in my heart. So let's move forward.
I don't
No 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 no.
okay. Okay.
He's you talking about a brick wall. Meanwhile, that brick wall is getting hammered. Okay, 10 IDF guys just got Swiss cheese right now.
How
Okay,
many
they're having a
Hezbollah
shortage
fighters
of
got Swiss cheese?
weapons.
How many Hamas fighters got
They're
Swiss
having a shortage
cheese?
of weapons. Okay, they're literally trying to recruit more people. Germany is talking about sending immigrants over there. Okay,
By the way,
they suck.
do you
Okay,
guys know
them
this
niggas are
Ariel?
trash.
Do you guys know this Ariel here on this app? By the way, the
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jew,
yeah,
no,
converted Jew. You know that he attacked a priest, by the way?
yeah,
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 yeah. I know that.
Do you also know that how the priests and the Christians are also getting attacked?
Yes, I
So it's not
know.
only Muslims, rude
Unfortunately,
man. It's not
yeah,
only Hamas. It's not only
yeah.
Hamas because the first resistance were actually funded by the Christian Palestinians. So
Actually,
the
blowing
Hampton,
resistance
Hampton.
have been always existing even since back then.
actually blowing up
So
You
churches.
stop
understand
mentioning
Hampton,
Hezbollah and Hamas
Hampton. You
only. We have
understand there's
PFLP, we have
Christians.
PLO.
No,
So
no. You
stop
know,
mentioning
even
only these
with
people.
you know
There's
what's funny?
Christians in Hezbollah, Hampton. Did you know that? Might
You
blow your mind.
no, you know what's funny?
I didn't know that.
You know
Of
what's
course
funny
you
about
didn't.
the whole thing is that these evangelical Christians cuck for these people so hard, and then when they go to Israel and get spit on and attacked, they're still saying, "Oh, these are still our brothers." You
The
know
only
that.
reason why they do that because in the Bible it's prophesied that
And
all
the
the Jews have
Bible,
to
you didn't read,
return,
yeah, but you're
Yeah,
and
reading,
it's
yeah,
you're
for
but
reading
you're
a
an
Jesus
full
to come
atheist.
sentence.
back.
No, hold
Jesus.
on.
I
You
You're an
take
used to
stuff
be a
out
atheist.
of
Make it make
Christian. I
context.
sense.
used to be a Christian.
Okay, you take
I
Yes,
stuff
used to
out
be
of
a Christian. I went to
context.
a Christian high school and everything. I literally used to be a Christian, evangelical.
What about
Went to Bible class
the
every
okay,
day.
hold on. They take stuff out of context, don't they? What about the synagogue of
I'm just
Satan?
telling you what they
What
believe.
about
I'm telling you.
Revelation? Hold on. What
I
about
know.
Revelation?
I know it doesn't make
What
sense,
about
but
the
that's what
ones
they
who call
believe.
themselves Jews when they're not Jews?
That's what they
What does that
believe,
mean?
though. I don't. But I'm just telling you what the evangelical Christians believe. It doesn't have to be right, but I'm just
What
telling you
does
what they
that mean?
believe.
Behold, I will make them the synagogue of Satan, who say they are Jews and they are
You
not,
have
but
to
they
ask
lie.
them.
Behold, I
You
will
have
make
to
them to
ask
come and worship.
them.
Oh my God, you
You have to ask
claim
them.
that you
I
read
don't
the
believe it.
Bible, but you don't.
No, but you.
Please go
I'm
on
telling you
mute.
what
I
they
beg you, go on
believe.
mute. And didn't
I'm
you just
telling
say
you
that you
what
don't
they
go after the
believe.
Bible?
It
Just
does.
shut.
I'm telling you what the evangelical Christians believe. Am I lying? That's what they believe. I'm not saying it's right, but that's what they
Yeah, but
believe.
that's wrong. But
Okay,
that's
but
actually
that's
wrong
what
because
they
you're taking stuff
believe.
out of context.
It's
That's
not
the
me,
funny
it's
thing.
them. That's what they believe. Do you not
Okay,
I
okay,
understand?
I know.
we can just agree to disagree, right? Respectfully, but Broodman, there is a big problem here, though, right? You do agree that the the Zionist Jew, they actually look at the Virgin Mary as a prostitute, astaghfirullah, right? And they look at Jesus alayhi salam as burning in hell or something. I don't know. So those things, as soon as you say it, it's blasphemous.
Right, but
That's what
you
I'm
have
saying.
to, Amir, the thing is, if the Jews are right, Jesus was a false Messiah and a false prophet. Of course, they would view him that way. He was walking around saying he's the Messiah, and they're like, no, you're not.
They got
So,
a lot
of
of
course, they're
warnings.
not going to have the
They
best
kept
opinion of
denying
him.
him, although he kept giving them chances. By the way, that's why they're cursed, according to Deuteronomy 28. Right? Is it 28 or 27? I don't remember. But they're cursed now, aren't they? They
I
got
don't know, but
cursed.
I'm just
They
saying
got
it's
cursed.
not
But you're the one
surprising that
saying
the
that you
Jews.
know the Bible. Then explain to me.
I didn't say I know I'm saying I'm familiar with the Bible. I used to be a Christian. I'm not. I'm just saying I'm not. I don't know everything, but I know a little bit.
Okay, but
What
we're
I'm
not gonna
saying
just sit here and discuss this
is,
Christianity or any other religion. Let's go back to the topic.
Yep.
okay,
Let's go back to that
you
topic.
brought
So,
it
what do you
up.
think about? Hold on, Ryanair. What do you think about that $500 million, $5 million per Gazan? What do you think about that deal?
Well, we're not Jews. We're not greedy. We don't care about the money, to be honest, because you cannot
No, no,
buy
not
honor
not
and
you.
dignity.
I'm not talking about you. I'm saying, like, you think those people that live in Gaza that are going through this tough time, right? I spoke to
They're gonna
Jindib
accept it.
about it. I spoke to Jindib and Edward. They're Palestinian, right?
Mm,
So Edward said I would take it, but Jindib said, yeah, the problems that they're going through, they might take it. I then I asked him about the percentage. So would you say maybe
mm.
30%, 40% might take it?
To be honest, people are too. I mean, are you seeing how they're living at this point? They might do that. Yes. I mean, who wouldn't? To be honest, at this point.
That's what I was saying. If the Egyptian
Mm.
side was to open a border, right, without charging bribes and whatever, I think a lot of people would actually migrate to Egypt.
Yeah, I think so too. Actually, I think so too. But I don't want to sit here and be all comfortable in my bed and having food on my table, like food on the table, and having electricity and everything, and sitting here and saying like, no, I hope they don't do it. But it makes me sad. I really want the best for them, and I want whatever is peaceful for them. I cannot sit here and say anything, but it makes me sad because this is the second Nakba. Uh and it makes me super sad because they just want to remove the
It's not
Palestinians
a
from that.
Nakba, it's a Holocaust.
It's a Holocaust, but it's also Holocaust with Nakba because the rest who are remained, they want them out, just like they did with our ancestors. This is actually worse than Nakba, to be honest. When they went and removed all the Palestinians when the Palestinians left their homes, 1948. This is actually worse, much more worse. And I can't believe that there are people sitting here and thinking this is okay. I swear to
I
God,
didn't
I'm not
say it
saying
was
this.
okay.
Hold on, Rude, but I'm not saying just you. I'm talking in general. Like, I'm not like it's not because I'm Palestinian or Lebanese myself, but I'm just speaking out of a out of a person who has like a little bit of humanity in me. Like, how can you sit here and see these footages and be thinking, oh, I don't know what side to support? How?
Yep, yep. I came
How?
across,
Because you can't
the
look.
guys, Samson earlier. Remember, he said the same thing. He's like, remember, we were going back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy was, he was actually basically trolling. I think, he wasn't for real.
I guess
Yeah.
the thing is giving into the emotions like you want me to is playing into Hamas's hands. I know that Hamas, that's the strategy to kill as or to get Israel to respond and have as many women and children to be killed, and it makes the Western media go, "Oh my God, wow, this is terrible." This is Hamas's strategy. I don't
Mm.
know if you guys don't realize that. They want this war to keep going. They
Mm.
want more Palestinian children to get bombed because it
So
makes
so
them
okay,
look.
so if it's Hamas fault, okay, let's say it's Hamas fault, but what about all the Palestinians that are suffering all around the country? We're not talking about only Hamas. We're talking about the Palestinians in the West Bank. What about the prisoner Palestinians, the ones who are taken by Israelis to prison, both female and men that are getting raped in prison, sexually harassed, starved, beaten up? I don't know if you have seen footages of how they look like when they get released. They look like it's someone who went through PTSD level 100, okay? Only God knows what the fuck is happening inside these cells. You're
Right.
telling me
I
all
don't
these
agree with that. I
Palestinians
don't
and
agree with
Jenin
that.
that are getting
No, no, no.
getting killed,
Mhm.
are you telling me all these civilian people are getting shot? I will never forget this case also, this autistic kid who got shot because they thought he was holding a gun or whatever he was doing outside. He was playing outside. He was like autistic, severe autistic person. Not only that, a lot of other cases. This they've always attacked the Palestinians even before Hamas was created. Before. What are you talking about? All the
Listen,
massacres.
I don't agree with what's going on in the West Bank. I hate the settlements. I think that's an obstacle to peace. What's going on in the
But
West
rude
Bank is
man,
a form.
it's
Hmm.
not only settlements, it's massacres throughout the
I know.
years.
Okay, okay. I'm just saying what's going on currently in the West Bank, and I see how the Palestinians are treated. It's not right. The settlers, a lot of them walk around with immunity and do what they do to the Palestinians, and it's not cool. It's not right. I don't agree with that. and I think it's
It's
horrible.
not, yeah, I know, I understand what you're saying, but it's not about, it's not cool, it's not right. It's not like, oh, someone stole my bike. It's not that.
It's a
They
travesty.
violated
It's a tragedy. It's horrible.
international laws.
Yes, you're right.
They're going
Yes,
against it on and on. Yet they're crying
you're
about
right.
Auschwitz and the Holocaust. You know, in the Holocaust, I'm telling you, as a Palestinian, it's horrible. But let's not forget that the Sintis and the Romani gypsies got actually killed more than the Jews, and nobody's talking about that.
Yes, yeah. Half of the people in the Holocaust that got killed were non-Jews. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I
but
just
yet
let.
they're still talking about the Holocaust. But look what they are doing right now. And yet they're saying, oh, it's because of Hamas. How the fuck is it because of Hamas? Because before Hamas was created, you guys were, you still were massive. Like, you guys were still killing Palestinians, raping them, breaking their spirit and soul, destroying them. And remember, they came to us. We never went to them. They came to us. So when people are saying that the Palestinians are fighting, it's all their fucking right to fight. We are the indigenous people. We didn't come from all around the world to settle there. We have been there since Bronze Age. So we are not gypsies. We are not the ones who just settled there for, like, we came from another fucking place on earth. We are there. We have been there for thousands of years.
You're right. You have, and you have a claim to the land, and you should have your own state. I completely agree.
So, and it's so funny because they always want to talk about 2,500 years, they were there, the Israelites were there, blah blah blah. Then I can also talk about the Canaanites. The Lebanese people can also talk about the Canaanites slash Phoenician, because it's the same thing. Like, we can also talk about those things. We can also talk about how we were there instantly. When I took my DNA test for fun, I got 80% Canaanite. The rest was Anatolian. This just show you that I am Levantine from both sides, from both of my parents. So what does that just indicate? And if they want to say, and they also, you hear the Jews always say also, the Israelis, they also say, oh, the Palestinians are from Yemen, or Palestinians are from Saudi Arabia. Yeah, we have a small amount that can actually trace back to their tribes. I don't know, I don't disagree, but it's like 20% or 15% only, right? Because the Arabs, the true Arabs, they know what tribe they're from, right? So between 20 or 15% can trace back to the Arab Peninsula. But you know what the funny thing is? Before even the Canaanites were there, the Nutifians were there, and the Nutifians are the modern Yemenis and Saudis. So yes, the Arabs have always been on that land before the Canaanites. So yes, the Arabs have all the claim to be there as well. And this is facts. You can go Google it up and go read. So they are the gypsies. We're not the gypsies. They came to us. We didn't go to them. They
What
came to
about
us
the
from
what do you?
all around the world.
Are the Mizrahi Jews? Do they have a claim?
If they have a claim to Palestine,
Yes.
I don't, that if Palestine would be Palestine and it would be free, I don't even mind some Jews living there that have been living there before, the Israeli state was created. I don't mind Jewish people living there and practicing their religion. Even, I really don't mind.
Just not the white ones.
No, I don't care. I said to you, the ones who were there as Palestinian Jews, because they were Palestinian Jews, I don't mind. And I don't mind anyone visiting that land, practicing their religion, whether it's a Muslim, Christian, or a Jew. But we cannot deny that the Palestinians have always been there. This is not a fucking shit show. It's not a la 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 land.
Yeah, no, you guys have always. Yeah, you guys have been here. You've been there. Absolutely. I'm not denying that. I, I just want peace. That's all I want. I want the fighting
Go
to
to
stop.
Poland. Go
I
to
wish.
Poland.
I don't know what the.
Czechia,
Honestly,
Slovakia,
I'm
Bulgaria,
kind of.
Hungary, Slovenia.
I'm kind of just.
You got options.
I have a
There's a
pessimistic,
ton of
defeatist
options.
view because I feel like there's no solution to this. It's just going to be constant war. Both sides are so firm in their beliefs, and it's just going to be war. And I wish there would be peace, but yeah, both
It's not
sides.
war, it's genocide.
It's just. I wish. Listen. I don't know. It's a shit show. I don't know the
Yeah,
answer
it's a
to
shit show
anything.
wearing a diaper as a
So
so-called fighter. That's a
okay,
shit show right there.
I just want peace. Anybody that asks where Hannah
Poland,
Spear stands,
Czechia,
peace,
Slovakia, Herzegovina,
peace,
Serbia,
peace,
Hungary, Romania,
peace.
Bulgaria.
But Rudman, before peace, right? There's always going to be a war or fight of some sort, right? That's when you get to see the peace. I mean, you've seen what happened throughout the empires, right? There was peace after the war, right? And that's what it is. I mean, the peace only comes after the war. You see, and I don't know if this is even a war. You know, this is not a war. This is just a one-sided thing. I think the Netanyahu is just an egoistic, narcissistic son of a bitch. You know, and
Actually,
a lot
Amir,
of
it's
people are
yes.
unhappy, even inside Israel. A lot of people are unhappy with his decisions. For they don't. I mean, people inside inside Tel Aviv or whatever, they're not. They don't care about the Palestinians, but they do care about the hostages, right? And today they were actually blocking his Knesset office, so he couldn't even get into the office. You see what I'm saying? And they're telling Netanyahu that, look, you did the deal with the Lebanon. Now it's time for a deal for Gaza. And we get our hostages back. And I guess some of the folks from the Zionist community, they're saying that the hostages are not even alive. But what Hamas did, they actually put out two videos. One, this guy is, I think he's from Poland, right? He said he's suffering from skin cancer or whatever. He needs his medication. He was, he was pleading to his family inside Tel Aviv, protest and do whatever you can, pressurize Netanyahu to get us back. The second video was an elderly lady. I actually feel bad for the hostages because they're non-combatant and they're elderly as well. You know that this lady was elderly. She was pleading to Donald Trump because we all know Donald Trump can actually make some good deals, right? He was a businessman. I mean, some people might disagree, right? I think he can make better deals than Kamala. Would you say, Rootman? Would you better deal than Kamala?
Trump is going to do whatever Netanyahu wants him to do. I don't. Trump is not going to be good for the Palestinian people. I don't. I don't. we've talked about this before. Look at
Okay,
who he's
then
appointed to the
why didn't the
cabinet.
Jews vote for him though? So
The
70% of the
American
Jews in
Jews,
America.
American Jews didn't vote for him, but they did a poll in Israel. Israeli Jews wanted him to win. But
No,
yeah,
they
most
did
Jews
not.
are
No, they did not. They
in
voted for
Israel.
Kamala.
No, I'm saying in Israel, not American Jews. I'm talking about in Israel. The Israelis, they were rooting for Trump.
No, they were rooting for Kamala.
The American Jews, the Jews in America,
Bro,
they
okay,
were.
who do you think American Jews are? They actually support Israel. A lot of them.
Yes, but a lot they're liberal too. I mean, look at Biden. You guys say Biden and Kamala have been total shills for Israel. So, I mean, why wouldn't they vote for him? Because they've done what Israel wants so far. They clearly. I mean, you think that Biden and Kamala are complicit in the genocide? Do you not?
100%.
So those American Jews that are Zionists, they see that they've helped Israel, so they voted for Kamala. And plus, Jews have always voted Democrat. They've always
Yeah, yeah.
for a
But
long
that's
time.
what I'm telling you. So if Kamala and Biden were good to the Israeli community, why would they vote for Israel? I mean Donald Trump. I mean, you said from the Israeli perspective they wanted Trump, right?
The
The,
Jews in Israel, not the Jews in America.
I
The Jews
understand.
in Israel.
I understand, but if you talk to them, ask Eagle. Eagle, would you wanted Kamala or Trump? Let's ask Eagle. Eagle,
I
are you
would
there?
I would want Kamala, but
There you go.
I would prefer Kamala, but many Israeli, he's right. Many Israeli Jews prefer Trump.
Thank you. Igal
Yeah,
just said he's left wing.
No, but you're not getting the point, Woodman. Those people don't even have they don't have a saying in American the government
I
system, whatever.
know, but they
by the
were
way,
rooting
I
for
do not
him.
agree with Rude about. I think that that this in this election, many American Jews moved from the Democratic Party to Trump.
No, they
I
did
know.
not. We have a survey. We have a data.
I
Very
don't think that
small percentage, very small.
I don't think that the statistics which were published are right, because I know many Jews who vote for Trump, American Jews.
But we can't reject
And
the
I think
data, though, Eagle.
things are wrong. The same way there are things that Palestinian supporters who voted for Trump are wrong because Trump is not for Palestinians. Kamala at least support two-state solution. I don't know what Trump support, but the fact is that he appointed several people who are very pro annexation of West Bank and pro settlers. So I don't
Well,
know. I really do not understand the Palestinian supporters who voted for Trump. Really don't.
Me
No,
neither.
they
Me
did.
neither.
They did. They did in America. They did. And guess what? According to the Times of Israel and a whole bunch of other data out there, Jews actually voted. Majority of them, more than 70% of them, voted for Kamala. And we all
I
see.
read that, but I feel that it's not exact. I don't think it's the
I
right
think
number.
it's exact. The reason why, because if you gotta think outside the box, Eagle. Biden approved $20 billion right now before he leaves office. Do you know he's trying to approve another more than $700 million for the aid package for Israel? Did you know this, Eagle? So it doesn't make sense. They will always vote for Democrat. You see what I'm saying? And to Rudman's point, people inside Israel, a lot of them are not U.S. citizens, so they don't have no saying. Those people don't count, man.
can
Sure,
I
We
they don't
gotta.
interject,
vote.
Amir?
Israelis don't vote for
What'd you
America, of
say,
course.
Race?
Okay, I don't know if
But
Rude or Eagle know this, but when Trump was campaigning, this is the first time he actually addressed a lot of prominent Israelis in a conference, and he basically, I mean, you guys can look it up, said that you guys traditionally vote for Dems. You need to vote for me. He literally came out and said, oh, anti-Semitism, that word doesn't hold much weight anymore, and that's bad. He actually said APAC doesn't have the influence anymore. It's bad. He said, I will send you guys, I mean, you guys can look it up, okay? He basically said the day I take office, the next day, anti-Semitism is going to end, okay? He appealed. Never like before. In 2016, 2020, he did not appeal to the Jewish community like he did now. He appealed to them because he knows traditionally, and not just traditionally, if you guys saw the numbers of what was happening when they were doing surveys, they were still noticing that a vast majority of Jewish people were voting for Kamala historically. And yes, there's a very tiny, tiny shift that went over to Trump, but not by very much. Now, the Israelis that live within Israel, if they feel like Trump is going to be better for them, that's just their opinion. That doesn't mean anything. Now, one thing you need to also understand, I'm not sure if Eagle, Rude, if you guys know this at all, Trump is America first. Look at the crazy amount of tariffs that he's trying to slap on. Just even though that sounds like it's going to be destructive to the American economy, he's doing it as a threat. Hey, I don't want all this fentanyl and drug, all this shit coming through my borders. You guys need to control it, Canada and Mexico, and also all of these issues that they have with like illegals coming through. You need to control it. If you don't, I'm slapping 25% tariffs. Do you guys know how, forget about inflation now? That is diabolical to the US economy. He's
It
doing it
is.
to
You're
put
absolutely
America,
right.
I
he's
think
doing it to, guys need to understand something. He will do whatever it takes to put US first, which means after he won, did you guys hear? He had a conversation with Bibi and said, listen, you're doing a great job. You know what? Your IDF soldiers are wonderful. Palestinians are bad. He went and bumped up his ego, and then he said, whatever you gotta do it quickly, wrap it up, because when I'm in office in January, this needs to end. So for his purpose of America first, he doesn't want all this aid money going to Israel to this extent. Hell fucking no. He is America first. He gives no shits about anybody but the USA and himself, actually. He's an egotistical maniac. He wants to be the guy that says, look, guys, I brought peace to the Middle East. Look, guys, the Dems were freaking war hungry I mean, they are. I mean, look at what's happening with what Biden's doing right now. It's actually pretty crazy. What I'm trying to get at is, if anybody thinks right now logically, even though, I mean, he is unpredictable and it's anyone's guess, he's going to do whatever it takes for US to be put forward, and that means his own ego. He's not going to be a puppet to anybody unless it benefits him. So no, I don't believe he's going to continue this hell. I just don't see it. Will he? I mean, he might. I mean, he is that unpredictable. But please look at him as a politician and what he's done. But I will say, to get all of this to end, he may have to give Bibi something. That may be a piece of land that he should not have. He's going to appease him, give him something to get him to stop, sign a deal, and call it a day. That's what he's going to do. Just watch when it happens. But please look at the stats. I know, Eagle, you're not that, you don't really believe in stats, but please do. That's the only way that we can have an intellectual discussion is if we actually look at the stats and not just debunk everything and every single number that comes out there. Thank
I do believe in stats, but I'm not sure about the reliability of this specific stat. But anyways, about Trump, I think you're a bit wishful thinking, because Trump was the one who recognized the Golan Heights as a part of Israel. He recognized Jerusalem as a capital of Israel. He moved the American embassy to Jerusalem.
I
He,
actually agree with you, Igal, on this matter because
he,
I think people
yeah,
saw a sliver of hope in Trump, and they saw the horror
yeah,
scene from
yeah. I think
Biden.
so. I, he,
But
he,
Eagle, do you know why he did all
he
that?
appointed Mike Huckabee. I think this is the name. Who is very close to the settlers, and he totally support the annexation
Yes,
of the
that's
West.
actually something that the Palestinians should
It's a
be.
big it's a big
Yes,
sign
yeah.
for his intention.
So, what do you think
That he
of
have,
Mike Huckabee? So,
but
what do you think of Mike Huckabee when he comes into and living on a settlement in the West Bank?
I totally I think it is disaster for that. I think it is disaster. It's very bad step. I
And
hope I
yeah.
hope it won't happen.
So, you hope?
Ma-
Do you think he's going to be confirmed? I guess it's. I mean, he's going to be the U.S. ambassador to Israel,
Yes,
He
he's
will,
gonna get confirmed. Yes.
but this guy is like a real lunatic, huh?
yes, absolutely.
Mm.
But you guys know that a lot of what he
But
did.
I agree that with Trump we never know. He's unexpected. I don't know, but the signs are not for something positive. I think some
Eagle, did you
positive.
hear that after Trump left office, he said the most difficult leader, the hardest person he had to actually do anything with was Bibi. He said that I thought it was a Palestinian side holding up the
Yes,
like the
I
two-state
know.
solution. He said it
Yes, you're
wasn't
right.
them, it was Bibi. So he was actually pissed off. Again, I said it. He does things to appease him, and it was Bibi who turned around and said, "Yeah, no." Do you see what
Yes,
I'm
he
trying to
said
say?
so.
He was
Yes,
pushing for it. It's Bibi who is the one that turns around and says, no, thank you. So this tactic may not work again. He's used it before and it failed on him, right? He has. He pushed for a two-state solution. And who stood in the way? And he came out and Trump said it. He's like, this is the most difficult person. It's him who doesn't want peace. And we talk about the both of them being allies. Why would Trump ever speak that poorly of him? Because Trump did not get to leave office with, look, I brought peace to the Middle East. Because Bibi stuck his big ass foot in the middle and said no. So yes, he does do things that on paper not good for the Palestinians, but then he could have gotten that two-state solution, and I mean, to this date, we most likely would not have had this problem, but we do because Bibi doesn't give a fuck at all.
we'll see.
There's no hope. This is a hopeless situation. I shouldn't laugh, but there's no hope. There's no hope.
There's no hope for Israel. Shithole is burning.
It's just
Beautiful.
more war and destruction
Yeah,
and
the end of
deaths
genocide.
on both sides.
The end
And
of genocide.
but you say the end of genocide, but the
The
casualties are
end of
always going to be
genocide,
more on
buddy.
the Palestinians. The
And
casualties
go
are
eat a
always going
dick.
to be
It's
more
the end
on the
of genocide.
Palestinians.
Blah, blah, blah.
You don't care.
I don't care. While,
You
while you're
don't
riding
care
all the
about the
dicks of the
Palestinians on the
Israelis.
ground. Yeah,
All the
okay,
dicks.
another
Can
gay
anyone tell
joke.
me why? Can anyone tell me why Bibi and agreed on the ceasefire with like Lebanon? Like why? Why now? Can
I
anybody kind of give me insight on
I
it?
think strategically it's not going to affect him much. He's gonna stay around because Bibi's nightmare is the end of the war in Gaza. Because right after that, he's gonna be held accountable to the major failures that he went through. But strategically, for Israel to be out of Lebanon, I think is strategically it's the right decision because Lebanon. If they really do and go and occupy parts of Lebanon, it's going to be a nightmare for them because they tried this in the past and they were chased out. And that will free his hand to do, to kill more people in the Gaza Strip because the main course of this war is the Gaza Strip and not Lebanon.
Also,
Uh, that's pretty much it.
yes, it's true. It's for him. It's Gaza is more important, and also there
To
was
the cockroach slacker, if you want to
there
remain in this
also
room, like watch out what you write in the chat, cockblower.
there was also pressure from both for Biden and from Trump to make this deal in Lebanon.
So basically, Israel cannot fight wars on multiple fronts, is what we're saying, pretty much.
No, Israel cannot
It,
cannot fight wars. I mean, look,
actually, it
it has
can.
a very mighty military machine, but
Actually, it's for
prolonged
years.
war, I'm sorry, a prolonged war is definitely not something that Israel can go through, and Israel is much more fragile and hushed than everybody thinks. But the prolonged war is not sustainable for Israel. And remember, there is also a change of guard in the U.S. There's a new president, new administration, and so on. But Israel is not as mighty as one would think. Yes, they do have a robust military machine that is, of course, the baby child of the U.S. military, pretty much. And don't think that the Israeli military carried all this war for the past year and change on its own. It's in total half of this war was carried out by the United States and the European allies. So. No, Israel cannot sustain a prolonged war. Israel is a very fragile entity.
I
It would
don't agree.
I agree. Yes, they do have a mighty. As I said, they have a very robust military machine, a very lethal
Not
military
just
machine. But
no. There is a
as a country, it would just take about 100,000 people standing on the border and throwing a few fucking rocks at the state, and the state would collapse. It's not. It's a very fragile
actually
system.
not at all. This war proved the opposite. Actually, it proved that Israel has very strong economy. By the way,
The
it's
economy is crumbling. What are you talking about? Have
very
you seen the
strong.
stats?
It's high tech and
Bro, it's more than 25%
high tech
plummet. What are you talking about?
high tech industry and
65%.
military
Hey,
industry prosperous, and
Eagle,
they sell
Egal.
they
Yes,
sell
it
for
does have
65,000
a
plus
robust economy,
businesses.
but it is not an economy that it's functioning on its own. You know, it's because of the open spigots of the U.S. economy and the U.S. money and the U.S. aid and so on and so forth.
It's
no. It's
So
completely
about
each
high
and
done.
tech.
every Israeli
No, you're wrong.
citizen
It's about high tech.
is
It's about
subsidized
high
by
tech
the U.S.
industry.
taxpayer and
Nothing. The
in the
economy is
range of
not that.
thousands of.
Only military is subsidized. The economy is very strong because based on high tech on high tech and military industries, and they
Bro,
Yeah,
sell
you
yeah,
shut
but
down. You
billion
shut
and
but
they
that
sell
shit
a
down,
billion.
prolonged
You
Eagle.
have no idea
a
how much.
prolonged destabilized state, all those economies, all those high tech companies, of course they will migrate out of the country and go invest somewhere else. So what, they have a few high, like say they have high tech companies and so on. Those are not even based in, it's a small place. Look, it's not Israel cannot
Israel
sustain.
is a small place with a very
Eagle,
strong
65,000 businesses have shut down or
small
filed
place
for
with very strong
bankruptcy.
economy.
65,000 out of the 9 million you got left in there. You're making this, I mean, the world is depending on you. Without Israel, nothing will roll. The world is perfectly fine off without this piece of land that you're occupying, raping, killing,
Absolutely.
refugee land
I always view the
for
state
the
of
sex
Israel as
offenders.
a huge liability to the U.S. and other and Europeans, but they keep calling it as an asset. It's not. It's a big liability, and Israel cannot sustain a prolonged war. Definitely not.
It does.
Look. the Hamas people, the ragtag Hamas army that went into the south and killed, just 1,000 people, and that shook the whole system to its core. It had to unleash a massive amount of, military and calling every reserve and so on and so forth. That crippled the country. Okay, if this thing happened to Israel a couple of times, the whole country will collapse. Okay, two, three
Wish,
attacks Hamas did.
wishful thinking.
It's not about wishful thinking. It's reality. Okay, like two, three attacks on that scale, the whole
Reality
country
is
will
opposite.
will
Reality
will
is
collapse.
opposite.
You will pack your bags and move out to whatever Ukraine, whatever the
14, the
fuck
war
they are.
already continue for 14 months.
Okay, hold on. Jindip, just to support what you're saying, since this is actually stats that came out like 11 months after October 7th, okay? What, because we know the definition of recession, right? Your GDP growth has to be down 2 quarters in a row. That's already happened. They've been down for the Israeli GDP is down 4.1%, and in 2020, this is like just 2023, 2024, they've come down even more to another 1.4%. So their economy, Israeli economy, is not it's not growing whatsoever. It's actually shrunk. And like I think someone else just spoke earlier, there's been 65,000 businesses that have closed down, which they have. But I'm not sure where you live exactly. Not Jindib, I think the other person was speaking to earlier, who I think is Israeli. Even getting shipments in and out of Israel, the fact that many businesses do not want to do business with them, getting even deliveries of goods within the US, let's say within Israel, with fears of, okay, you know what, the airspace might be closed now, this might happen, that might, there's so much at stake. Their economy has come down substantially in the wake of October 7th. So no, their economy is not doing well. Their economy, I don't know what propaganda you get or where you get your news from. They're not. Please find sources outside of whatever is state-sponsored television that you're viewing, because they are not doing well. And Jindip's right. A few more of these, it's a collapse within the Israeli economy. They're a very small population. Their GDP cannot sustain this, period.
As I always say, 100,000 people walking to the border with rocks in their hand, tossing rocks in the direction of this entity, and it will collapse. Imagine raining about a couple of thousand rockets into towns and in cities in Israeli proper would also bring this whole system to its knees. As I said, just a ragtag bunch of people, just breached the border, and they exacted a very painful slap, and the whole system just went into high gear, and just they went bananas, went crazy, went nuts. So yeah, yes, they do have a mighty military because they have the unlimited supply, the unlimited funding of the U.S. Treasury. I mean, it's that they how their economy works. Each and every Israeli citizen is subsidized on yearly basis like number thousands of dollars a year at the U.S. taxpayers' dime. So no, this enterprise is very fragile. It's not as mighty as one would think.
So can we also say this? Isn't like majority of the Israeli population, as if they're of age, they're pretty much serving the IDF. So where the fuck are they getting the labor from? Your economy runs based upon labor. So if there's a big part of your country serving in the military now, and they're
Yeah,
on reserve, like just think about it logically. Like how do you sustain an economy even then? You can't. It's impossible.
It happens.
How does
Do
it
you know
happen? How?
it happens for 14 years and the economy stands still? Do you know that GDP per capita? You say that that not you, Gene, that it's very fragile and depend on America. The GDP per capita in Israel is higher than most European countries.
thanks to
The
what?
economy
Thanks to who and thanks to what?
thanks to high tech.
No,
Very
no,
high tech.
No. Military aid.
it's thanks to
It's
the spigot of the U.S. Treasury. Okay, most of it
no
is. Okay, yeah, it is. It is.
it
It is.
bullshit because
It's not bullshit. Look, those high tech companies,
The
those high
American
tech.
help
Yes,
is
yes, they
only
do.
military.
Yes, they do high tech.
America do not give money for the Israel economy,
Yeah,
only
yeah,
for military.
yeah. Right. Yeah. On yeah. So
But
so
Then
Eagle,
if so
hold
if
on,
Israel if
hold on.
Israel has to spend all that money on its on the military that it has, then
it's
where
only
would it come with the money?
it's a small
Exactly.
part of
Yeah.
Israel GDP.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
No. Do you know that Eagle that since 1948 the U.S. gives more military aid to Israel than any other country in the
It's true
world?
about military aid,
In the
but still,
billions. In the
but
billions. Hold
it's
on.
not
Give me a second. Give me a second.
what made the Israeli economy strong.
Do you hold on? Give me just hold on for a second. Budgeting, right? Countries, nations budget. There's a military budget. There's this and that. If you don't have to allocate your funds towards the military, and most of it's coming from the USA, come on. So what is helping the GDP or per capita you say within the US? Guess what? My fucking tax dollars. That's what. My tax dollars is doing that for you. Just so you know.
In reg-
Just in case you're wondering.
not in wartime, the American aid of for Israel is about 1% of Israel GDP.
Yeah, Israel sells
Uh
its bond in the U.S. market with U.S.
Not
taxpayer
now.
guarantees.
During the
Okay,
war is
guarantees.
higher.
Hold on, yeah, it's with U.S. taxpayers guarantees. All whatever credit loans and so on and so forth are guaranteed by the U.S. Treasury by the U.S. taxpayer. Listen, each and every Israeli citizen is subsidized each year for with thousands of dollars on the dime of the U.S. taxpayer. Period. Okay.
It's
You,
baseless.
no, that's not baseless. You just need to look into it, and you just need to open your eyes. Okay. And when you say, "Oh, they only give us," they just give us Israel military aid. If Israel has to budget itself and pay for all the military that the military spends the money on the military, where do you think that money comes from? That wouldn't come out of your pocket. Do you think with
Regular
your
years, wouldn't be a problem. In wartime, I agree. It is a problem. In wartime, it
wartime?
is a
Israel has been in wartime since its
no.
creation.
In
What are you
regular
talking
years,
about?
$3 billion is not is very small percentage of the
six
Israeli.
point two billion dollars. And if it's so small, then why are
Excuse
you
me.
taking it?
But
This year alone, it
this
was
year,
in the tune of
this year
$20 billion. So
it's important. This
yeah.
year it's important, but usually it's not.
Okay, so if the spigot of the U.S. Treasury was cut off during this year, do you think the Israeli military will sustain a 14 month?
It would be a problem. It would
Yeah,
be a
it would be a
problem.
yeah. Okay, well at least you admit it. At least you
Yeah.
admit one thing. So
But I
yes,
am talking about the fact that generally the Israeli economy is very strong, and it's
Ego,
not
just give
Because
based,
up.
they're getting
and
6.1 billion,
it's
guys.
not based
listen,
on
two, three more
America.
hiccups, two, three more hiccups like this last one of October 7th, two, three more hiccups like that, and your economy will collapse. Okay. I call them just a little slap in the face. You get slapped three, four times like that, and you will all most of you will be packing your bags and moving back to whatever, Brooklyn, New York.
I think that Hezbollah will wait many years until we'll start anything new.
Ego, if I were you,
They got very hard lesson.
Ego, if I were you, I would put my furniture on Craigslist, buy yourself a nice apartment in Bulgari, and then whatever years more God has given you, brother, shalom and Shabbat. It's done. Like I'm 44. I
Hey,
don't have no.
many,
I might as well have like dreams of becoming a top contender in the UFC lightweight division. People say, Lutfi, please, for the love of God, leave the cocaine alone. That's what people would tell me. And the only thing I'm inhaling is air. You want to sit here? You wear diapers, my man. You wear diapers. You cannot fight.
Look,
You
I like
cannot
I
street
like
fight.
I
You
like
cannot
this
play
I like this
soccer.
Igal, even if he wears diapers. I actually
There is
like.
nothing. There is. I'm not even exaggerating. You guys wear diapers. You got kids killing men, women, and children. Where is the fucking honor, man? You want to talk about God and Hashem and your holy book and the holy land? You fucking people on camera against their will. Where is your fucking You honoring your family members that got slaughtered by that other psychopath Hitler, man. How can you sit here and defend that? You are approving what Hitler did in a new era. You have zero, the slightest bit. Oh, he ran, of course. I think I was becoming anti Semitic. See, you bring up their family history, all of a sudden it's like 1-800 Dr. Phil. They need to call a fucking therapist or something.
The problem is, it's really difficult to have a conversation with somebody when you're giving them facts and they're like, it's not true, it's not true, it's not true. It's like brainwashed Stockholm syndrome. I don't know what the hell it is. If someone's gonna prove me wrong with facts, I'm gonna look at them. I may like I'm somebody that will, you know what? All right, good point. Or if you are too much of an ego and you can't say that, then you just stay silent. Every fact that has come out, it's
Look,
not true. It's not true. It's not true. It's not
I've
true.
had many personal conversations with many Israelis over the years. Okay, it just
Can
gets brought.
somebody, 1 second, can somebody kick that CJ Givens,
Sure, sure. I'll
the
do that.
golden rule?
CJ,
It's
by the way, fuck your mother, fuck your lineage. I'm gonna block you, you son of a bitch, and son of a whore. Okay? I'm gonna
Whoosh.
kick you out of my room now.
Shalom Shabbat.
Have fun in the
Oh
hallway, you fucking piece of
shit!
shit.
I just saw that. Oh my god, piece
what
of
did he
shit.
say? I don't
Don't
look
even
at
want to
Twitter.
repeat it.
Just
Don't even repeat it. This is blasphemy.
disgusting shit.
So I've had many conversation with those people, but it always boils down. But God is on my side. God is with me. God is with us. And there is no argument after that because there's nothing to argue about after that. It's like talking, it's like playing chess with a gorilla. In the middle of the game, he eats your horse, and then he looks at you. It's like nothing else to say.
Aren't like half of them atheists, anyways? Assalamu alaikum, by the way.
Alaikum salam. Yeah, it's
Yes. A
Like
lot of
half
them
of them are
are.
atheists. Yeah, this is saying God's on my side. It's like, dude, you
Yeah.
don't even believe in God.
no, bro. It's worse than that. It's 67, 64% is like not practicing at all, like zero. Like they identify with it, but that's pretty much it. There is no, sabbat or any of those things. There's none of that. Like it's increasing. It has now become gay capital of the world. Shalom Shabbat.
Yeah, isn't Tel Aviv like the gayest capital in the world or something like that? Like you said, worse than San Diego, San Francisco.
You mean higher degree of vigilosity in Tel Aviv than San Francisco? Probably. I don't know.
That I don't know, but what was shocking to me, I've since October 7th got friends who I never spoke about being having any connection to being Jewish at all. Okay, all of a sudden, oh yeah, my grandfather was this, and they're like jumping up and down for Israel, and I'm asking those same friends, I'm like, oh, so is your menorah up? Like, what's going on? Like, are you? Oh no, the Christmas tree is. I'm like, oh, so you just jump on the bandwagon because your great great grandfather was Jewish, but you're not because your mom isn't. So you jump on it and you tell me, oh my god, it hurts my feelings when you say this. It's anti-Semitic. Do you know what we've been suffering through? Jews could never practice their religion openly and la di da di da. Before October 7th, I didn't know any of them had even any connection to Judaism. And now it's Christmas. I'm like, oh, Hanukkah's coming up. Eh. I'm like, wow, okay, so you don't practice at freaking all. I don't get it. I do not understand it. So I'm not surprised at that stat of 67% or whatever you said, Ludwig.
So what was the last part?
Yeah, I think you said something about 60 something percent do not are atheists or do not practice Judaism, right? Within
Yeah, it's
Israel, you
like
said?
60 plus 64 or whatever it was, the number. It's like more
Yeah, I'm
more
not
than,
surprised. I'm not
yeah.
surprised. Anyone that I know that has even the slightest connection to Judaism and uses it as like this is hurtful, my this, my that, and now it's Christmas, and I'm like, oh, do you have menorah up? Like, what's going on? Well, no, I grew up Catholic. Oh, I gotcha.
See,
Don't have any clue of their own. I probably know more about their traditions than they do. It is very weird to be so attached to your religion, and then to say that, we're doing this for our religion, and to make everyone else be quiet because you don't want to sound like, you're hurting people's feelings, but they don't even honor it. Don't even go to synagogue. Don't keep Shabbat. Don't do none of it. And this is personal people that I know. So 60 something percent in Israel, that's not far fetched at all.
see, the thing is for in Judaism, it's the lines of like what we call as Muslims halal and haram are remodified in a very weird fashion. So you could be completely secular, but still be considered righteous in the sense that you're working to, I don't know, for example, to F with the Gentiles, for example, right? As long as you're involved in some sort of cause to reestablish the rebuild of the temple, and you don't have to be like some Orthodox Jew with a beard. I mean, they have people like that that are specialized in that category. But you could be a banker, it could be whatever, who like completely secular, drink and do things that because it's haram, but it's okay. Their rabbis have made it permissible as long as it's working for the bigger cause, you know, like for example to do tadlil, which means to like it's like a trickery, it's like a as long as you're making others fall into, for example, you involve in an industry that promotes, I don't know, pornography or some weird thing, right? As long as it's affecting Gentiles and given a chance for Jews to be more guided towards their eventual goal, it's fine. They're quote unquote ulama have made it halal because you're involved in a bigger cause. It's a very weird cultish type of mentality.
Oh, so
Ace, actually,
basically betray people from God. Go ahead.
yeah, if you mingle with the Israeli population, sometimes I feel sorry for them, but they are definitely on a like they're on a high, like they're high on power kind of thing. It's like, imagine yourself or imagine a situation in which there's big, huge bully fighting a very little meek kid all the time, and they're, beating the little kid all the time because no one is asking him why, or so, or why you're doing this, or standing up to this bully. And sometimes I feel sorry, like I feel sorry for them. I think the whole Zionist enterprise is endangering like real Jews and Judaism altogether. I think it's just a waste of the religion itself. So the Israeli society is very strange, very even you
Very
mingle with
sick,
them. Yeah,
sick.
like there's a
Yeah.
certain sickness. There's like a certain sickness, and I think that's kind of. I feel sometimes I feel bad for them. I feel sad, but sometimes I also resent the way they carry themselves through on daily basis. They think like they are, masters of the race, masters of anything they touch, or they just belittle everyone else because they are high, like very high on the idea of power. Because they are, always armed, always like fully deployed, fully armed, fully funded, and it's a very extremely racist society. They look at everybody else as way beneath them. Uh,
Were you
it's a
here
sickness.
that day? Sorry, were you here that day the Black Rabbi was in this room? Were you here that day when Black
No.
Rabbi was here? Okay, so
No.
Black Rabbi, I don't know if you know him. He comes in and he claims that he's a rabbi.
Yeah, I know him. I
He,
know he
okay,
said he lives
yes.
in Jerusalem.
Yeah, so he actually said that I'm not going to get into a whole conversation, but basically claimed that, yeah, as a Jewish Orthodox person, you can drink, you can smoke weed, you can smoke cigarettes and stuff, because he was saying that the U.S. is more dangerous than Israel, and I'm like, no, you have bunkers. He's like, no, we just go on the roofs and look at all the rockets coming, and we celebrate and we party. I'm like, hold on, you don't know your own religion. Your religion doesn't allow for those things. Then Nathan, I'm sure you guys know, he's also very like, he knows his scriptures well. I asked him. He said it. He's like, no, we're not supposed to get drunk. We're not supposed to get high. We're not supposed to alter our state at all. And this man calls himself the Black Rabbi who apparently spent years in Israel doesn't know shit all about his own religion and makes these wild statements. And honestly, I wouldn't feel bad because I get what you're saying, Agenda, but if people in my community are doing really horrible things, I can't sit idly by. I would have to say something to stop it. If I sit idly by, then I'm complicit in that bullshit, right? Like, I can't just sit there and allow for it to happen. And then something else that someone else was saying, I think is Asylum. Sorry, I can't read your name driving. You had said that they allow for what we would call things like, would be, I mean, in any religion, any culture, sinful, right? Consider it bad, consider it like satanic kind of things that take you away from God. It's this idea, and Jindib, this is where it comes down to. It's not even that they have all this support. It's because they genuinely think they're God's chosen people, that they are better than everybody, and they walk around with that ego. And that is sick, because if anybody understands
Yeah,
spirituality and God,
yeah,
God just tells you that you are not better than anyone else.
yes,
You're actually below. You need to have humility. You're
yeah,
actually below everybody around you. You're not above them. This is their problem. That's what they've been taught. And that same day, Jindib, when we're talking about racism, that piece of shit had the audacity, black rabbi. Oh, there's no racism in Israel. I'm like, are you kidding me?